Hello everybody, Omogonix here, and welcome to a new series that I like to call Halo Lore for Newbies, which is basically Halo lore and backstories behind some of the most beloved Halo characters, so yeah. So in this first episode of Halo Lore for Newbies, we'll just be talking about Master Chief's early years in the Spartan-II program, so yeah, let's get right into it. John was born in 2511 and lived with his mother and father in Elysium City on the colony world of Eridanus II. He attended the Elysium City Primary Education Facility number 119. As a child, John had brown hair and freckles. Dr. Halsey identified John as an ideal physical and mental candidate for the Spartan-II program when he was 6. He stood a head taller than the majority of his schoolmates, had greater physical proportions, and possessed greater strength, superior reflexes, and had an aggressive drive for success. When Dr. Halsey and Lieutenant Jacob Keyes visited Eridanus II in 2517 to study him, they were impressed with his intellect and luck. In a final test of his viability as a candidate, he was asked to determine which side of a coin would land on. He watched the coin as it flew in the air and caught it before it could land, correctly stating which side was face up and which was the side of the eagle. John was the first candidate Dr. Halsey and Lieutenant Keyes studied. Later that same year, John and 74 other 6-year-old children were conscripted, and for those who don't know what conscripted means, it basically means being enlisted into the army. So anyways, let's continue on. They were kidnapped from their homes and replaced with clones, all of which would later die of neurological problems stemming from the bad cloning process, covering up the kidnappings. John, along with the other candidates, was taken to Planet Reach. Dr. Halsey informed them of the Spartan-II program and how they would be the quote-unquote protectors of Earth and all her colonies. The next morning, John discovered his service tag stitched into his training uniform and his new name, John 117. John began a new life. He and his fellow Spartans were trained by Chief Petty Officer Franklin Mendez. For 8 years, he learned history, military strategy, weapons, and received physical fitness training. John quickly proved himself to be one of the program's top candidates during his training. Both Dr. Halsey and Chief Mendez identified him as one of the 4 emerging leaders in the Spartan-II program, along with Kurt 051, Jerome 092, and Frederick 104. Dr. Halsey strongly expressed her belief in John by stating that he had the skills and natural ability to lead the entire Spartan-II program. However, Mendez disagreed and instead believed that Kurt would be better. When the Spartans were 8 years old, they were sent on a training mission in which they were dropped over a forest located deep in one of Reach's snow-filled mountain ranges and expected to get safely to the extraction Pelican dropship. The children also had instructions to leave the last child arriving behind, otherwise they would receive painful punishment. John knew, however, that he could not do that. After telling the Spartans where to meet, the Spartans looked to him as their leader. When the group came upon the Pelican, it was guarded by armed men. Those men were actually UNSC Marines, but were not in uniform, so the Spartan-IIs therefore mistook them for a hostile threat. John showed early acumen in critical thinking and tactics, not wishing to take for granted that the guards would be friendly toward them. He came up with a plan to take the men down, capture the dropship, and ensure the safe extraction of every team member, as he made sure he was the last person aboard. To do so, he ended up hijacking the dropship with help of Deja and beat down the men with stones, causing severe injuries to the Marines. Chief Mendez was not happy with John at all attacking his Marines and leaving no one behind, but both Mendez and Halsey recognized John's initiative and promoted him to squad leader. Despite other Spartans' rankings rising and at least a couple rising to lead their own teams, he remained the de facto leader of the Spartans as a whole. John's leadership skills were observed. The result from their mission clearly solidified his role as the overall leader of the Spartan-IIs. He also became the established leader of Blue Team, consisting of Kelly, Linda, Frederick, and, of course, John himself. When John was 14, he underwent the dangerous Spartan-II augmentation procedures. These procedures killed 30 of the Spartan trainees and physically disabled 12 others. John was one of the 33 Spartans who survived the process successfully, while the rest who could still operate were moved to positions in the Office of Naval Intelligence. At only 14 years old, John was said to have the body of an 18-year-old Olympic athlete. The augmentation process hastened their reflexes, increased their strength, and enhanced their eyesight, and rendered their bones nearly unbreakable. After their augmentation procedures, John and the other Spartans were transferred to the Atlas in order to recover in microgravity environment. 4 ODSTs confronted John during his first visit to the Atlas's gym. Their sergeant then ordered the 5 of them into the boxing ring. In the ensuing fight, John killed 2 of the ODSTs and left the others severely injured, an accident which quickly blossomed into the major resentment for the whole Spartan program throughout the Marine Corps. According to Major Antonio Silva, people who invented John orchestrated this incident in order to test the Spartans' augmentations. So anyways guys, that's the end of this video. Those were the early years of Master Chief's early years in the Spartan-II program. I was going to get a little more into it, and talk about his early years in his military career, but I just decided to talk about Master Chief's years in the Spartan-II program from ages 6 to 14. So yeah. But anyways guys, that's the end of this video. If you did enjoy, do not forget to like and subscribe. And also, some of that information there I actually got off of the Halo Wikia page, so yeah. And plus, it would have taken me a long time to write a script like that, so yeah, that's why I just copy and pasted some of that into a notepad, which I used as a script. But yeah, I did change up some of the words that I didn't know from the Wikia page, that I didn't understand, so yeah. Anyways, again, that's the end of this video. If you do enjoy this series, be sure to let me know in the comments below who I should do next. The Arbiter, Sergeant Johnson, whoever. See you all soon. Bye-bye.